Moses.
Yeah.
What's the conversation?
I think they were just talking about the Trinity and stuff like that. But G1, you would agree that did you hear the conversation that I was having with Veritas earlier about the Thomistic view of phenomenology?
Nope, I did not care. I went to play Warzone.
You were playing COD? Yeah.
He never wants to get carried out, you know what I'm saying? My bad.
That's fair.
I'll carry you,
Would
bro.
you agree that for the Thomistic view that, and I'm just going to put this in layman so everyone can understand, okay? That imagine your brain, like you receive data into your brain and there's a little man with a suit on. Let's call him Mr. Agent Intellect, right? You would agree that Mr. Agent Intellect, that he turns this data into intelligible, immaterial forms. And then once he impresses this onto your possible intellect, that's where you have a formal concept. Would you agree?
Bro, you gotta simplify this for the audience, bro.
Okay. Imagine you have a little man sitting in your brain. Call him Mr. Agent Intellect. You look at things. You perceive things. Mr. Agent Intellect turns that data into immaterial forms. What he then does is that he gathers all those forms and he puts it on your brain or your intellect, impresses it onto your intellect, and that's where you have a concept of the things that you are receiving from your data.
So basically, you obtain information from our senses. That's what you're speaking
Senses, exactly. Common senses to the fantasia or the imagination to your agent intellect. Mr. Agent Intellect, remember that's sitting in your brain, and then onto your possible intellect. Would you agree with that, G1?
Yeah, I have Aquinas' view on intelligible operations.
So you have Aquinas' view of intelligible operations. So the species represents what is universal. We are going to be instantiations of that, what is universal. And according to, the Aristotelian theory, intellectual cognition that, Aquinas inherited, once that intelligible species is impressed onto the possible intellect, you have intellectual cognition or memory, right? You would agree?
No, species are not going to be universal since there's different kinds of species.
No, an intelligible species. It represents, it's going to be a representation.
Intelligible species are going to be direct universals, right? And
that's they represent what is universal and unchanging about the object of intellectual.
I'm trying to break down your language to the audience and so they can understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I can break it down.
Then do that then.
Yeah, so when I say intelligible species, I mean the mental form or the representation that our intellect creates when we understand something. That's all that means. So it's not individual. It's not like concrete things like this particular tree outside your window. It's the universal aspect, treeness, that applies to all trees. Would you agree?
Okay. Yeah. So what's your point regarding to Aquinas' view?
So my point is that this is very pertinent to the processions of the persons, right? When it comes to the procession of the sun, do you believe that the term?
What do you mean very pertinent?
Yes.
Yeah. So when you're saying about like this view in which
because Aquinas synthesis. I'm explaining why it is pertinent.
Like, so how are you defining pertinent to be? Are you saying that it's going to be something substantial?
I'm just meaning important.
Understanding of the intellectual aspect.
Yeah, I just mean
what you're saying. It's something.
When I say pertinent, I just mean it's important.
Sure. Okay. So what's your point then?
Pertinent simply just means relevant directly.
So what's your point?
Yeah, because for Aquinas, the word is the product of the intellectual act. And the terminus or the term, the end point of this intellectual act is going to be what is known. Would you agree?
Yes, bro. When God knows himself, there's a concept
Okay.
which he knows, which is representing him. Yes, yes, I do agree.
Now, is himself just indexed to the nature?
Is himself indexed to the nature?
Yeah, like when you say God, the proposition God knows himself. What is himself picking out here? The nature?
Well, himself would be picking out the person in which the nature is practically going to be presupposed. Because if us like himself is going to be indexing an individual person, right?
Wait,
It's going
does
to
the Son know
presuppose an
himself?
individual person as a nature. Yeah, himself is going to be an indexical term. It's not like reference fixed. It's picking out an individual.
Okay, so if it's an indexical term, does the Son's knowledge of himself, is that identical to the Father?
The knowledge of himself, yeah, of course, is going to be identical to the Father, yeah.
Okay, so are they the same self?
No, they're not the same self.
So the knowledge of the Son, his self, is identical to the knowledge of the Father, which is a different self, but they're not the same self.
Yeah, they're not the same self. So the knowledge which the Son possesses is identical to the knowledge which the Father possesses. Right, since
what is
this
knowledge here then?
What do you say?
Well, yeah, that's a very good question here. What is knowledge here? Because I feel like this is
So
like semantic gaming.
knowledge is going to be the possession of some form, right? Always going to be the conformity between the intellect and the thing here is going to be like the concept, right? And when we're saying about God's knowledge,
okay, so you're saying the Son is not the same concept formally as the Father.
No, I'm
or
not just
formal
saying
ratio of the nature.
No, I'm not just saying. No, I'm not just saying that the Son is not just the same concept as the
formal
Father.
concept of the
But
nature.
I'm telling you what I'm saying. I'm saying, but the Son isn't the same person as the Father, even though, right, the Son is going to imply some notion by which we can understand the Son to be in reference to the Father, but it's going to imply something substantial.
That's what I mean by formal ratio or a formal concept. It's like the defining feature or the form that makes something what it is. But
the formal concept
when the intellect grabs that thing. So you're just saying like, you said what?
But I'm saying, the formal concept isn't something which we have access to in virtue of God, the right?
Okay.
Okay, cool. So when we talk about formal concepts...
So you're just saying that they're distinguished by the formal ratio.
I'm not saying they're distinguished by their formal ratio, right? I'm saying, in fact,
so
if
what
you want to take like a
statistic,
what distinguishes them
wait, if that's not what distinguishes them, are you saying... Wait. If that's not what distinguishes them, are you saying if the elements that constitute the concept of Father and the elements that constitute the concept of Son, if they were identical, they would still be distinct?
If they were identical, they would still be distinct.
Yeah. So because wait. And I want to really quick. No, that's like super important. Wait. Why are you getting upset? This is like really does need clarification. Yeah, what? I want to clarify this.
Honestly, clarify something. I'm still talking. Like, what do you need to clarify?
Yeah, I want to clarify what I mean really quick.
Well, you already indicated what you meant, right?
You
just stated that.
I didn't finish.
You did. You stated that if we're saying that like the Father and Son is going to be identical, in some respect.
No.
Right, that
wasn't all that I was saying.
Okay, then say what you're saying, right? And then make it very clear and concise, bro.
Well, yeah. So all I was saying,
clarification, bro, man.
Yeah. So all I was saying was, are you saying? Because and I want to explain what a concept is. Whenever someone says concept, just so you guys, I'm explaining to the audience because I don't want this conversation to go over their head.
But why are we explaining something that doesn't need to be explained?
No, it does. It actually does. Because you're saying the notes.
Everyone knows.
Yeah, but you're saying the notes are the elements. Allow me to finish, please.
When did I say the notes are the elements? 1 and 2, right?
Wait. Allow me to finish. Well, I said the elements. Hold on.
Yeah, okay,
G1,
that's
just
not
really
what I said
quickly,
then.
really quick. G1. I want this to be fruitful, really quick. So I want to clarify what I mean. So when I say elements, I'm talking about the notes of the concept by which an object is known and distinguished from all others, right? So like if man is conceived as a rational animal and you have animality and rationality are the notes of the concept of man, right? Then obviously a pig, for example, is not going to have the same notes of that concept of pig. I think, would you agree with that?
Of course, but why are we speaking about something
Okay,
that I
so
never asked you to
are you
explain?
saying that if the Father and the Son had the same notes that constitute the concept of Father and Son, are you saying they would still be distinct?
I never said that, so that isn't what I'm saying. Right now, let me
No,
tell
no,
you
no.
what I'm
I just
saying.
want a yes or no.
I just told you, no, that isn't what I'm
Okay, so
saying.
the concept
And I'm
is what
going to tell.
distinguishes
Why are
them.
you interrupting me?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, no, that isn't what I'm saying. I never stated that the notion of Father and the notion of the Son is going to be the same, because it
That's
pertains
not,
to you.
no, that's not what I asked.
You legit asked
No, that's not
if
what I
I
asked.
was
I
saying,
didn't say that the notion of
oh my
Father and
goodness,
notion of
bro,
Son are going to be the
can you
same.
please,
No,
can you please,
that's not
like,
what I
not
said.
interrupt?
No, you missed it. You missed what I said.
Notion.
I said
Oh my goodness, bro. I can
that's
legit
not,
still
no.
man
You
what
missed
you
you missed
said.
what I said. Hold on,
Like
one
legit
second.
synonymous.
I want to
Bro,
clarify.
can I? Oh
You
my goodness, bro.
G1,
Do
you
you want
missed what
me?
I
I
said.
can
I
still
never
man what
said
you
that you
said. I
claimed
can still
that
man
the
what you said,
notions
bro.
are going to be the
I
same.
can still.
I
I
said
can still.
hypothetically.
I said, oh my goodness, bro. I can still man what you said. You're asking me if I'm saying that if the formal concept of the Father and the Son is the same, right? Would there still be a distinction? Is that not what you asked me? Okay, cool.
That is what I
So
asked.
I responded to you that isn't what I'm saying. So please track. Okay, cool.
So
Now I
there
want to tell you
would
what
be
I'm
a
saying.
distinction because the concept.
Lord have mercy.
That's a concession, by the way.
How's that a concession if that wasn't the point that
So I
you're on? And you
originally
asked me
asked
if I'm
you.
saying something, and you
I'm
asked
going to
me if I'm
explain to
saying
you. I
something.
originally asked you if
Look,
the
bro,
formal
please,
ratio
I
of
know,
the nature.
look. Again, I already still mind your position, and I responded to the position because you're asking me if this is what I'm saying, and I negated that. Right now, I'm telling you what I'm saying. Right. So listen. So what I'm saying is that the Father and the Son have the same knowledge because knowledge is proper to the essence. So when we say there's going to be a sameness relation here, we're saying the sameness relation is conditionalized because of the possession of the same divinity. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Not sure what that had to do with what I just asked you. So
Because you asked
my
me
whole
earlier,
point.
no, I want to tell you because you're not tracking the conversation.
I am.
Because the earlier question which you asked me is that the knowledge which the Son knows of himself, is it going to be identical to the knowledge which the Father
To
has
the
of
knowledge of the
himself?
Father. And you said yes.
Okay, cool. And I'm telling you why that is going to be the same. The sameness is going to be in reference to the nature.
The sameness is the
Touch
nature.
fair. Oh my goodness.
The object of
So you
intellection
don't
is the
even, so you're
nature.
not checking. So why should I have a conversation with you? If you're
Okay.
not checking
I
what I'm
can't.
saying, you're not checking what you're saying.
G1, the object of intellection is the nature. Like the rhetoric is killing me, man. Yes or no?
How's the rhetoric? No, I'm telling you something which
Okay,
is
the
factual.
object of
Because you
intellection
haven't
is just
still
the
man
nature.
what I've been saying, but I've
G1,
been
I'm
still
still
manning what
manning.
you have been saying. No, you
Okay.
haven't.
Are you done? Do you want me to still man what you just said?
No, well, not now because I'm speaking. I'm not asking you to still man what I'm saying. When I asked you to, you didn't still man what I said, and I'm telling you the relevance. And I'm telling you the relevance.
Whoa, you did not just ask me to do that. I
And
definitely
I'm
would
telling
have.
you, and I'm telling no, because you said to me, right? Oh, I don't see the relevance to what the conversation is, and I'm telling you the relevance, right? Because the earlier question which you asked me is that the knowledge which the Father has of himself, is it going to be identical to the knowledge which the Son has of himself? Then I said it's going to be the same insofar as the knowledge which the Father has and the Son has, right, is going to be proper to the essence, right? Such that if the Father is identified to the essence and the Son is identified to the essence, and the Father and Son are really distinct, then the knowledge which the Father has of himself is also going to be contained in the Son, right? The Father's knowledge of the Son is also going to be contained in him, because the principle of the knowledge is going to be his essence.
The
Right?
nature.
You can read this
Right,
in
like I
Bernard
said.
Wollener's book, right? A Jesuit
So
who
I'm gonna go
speaks
ahead
about
and
this relation.
interject because you're going into a monologue. So I've already, like before
I'm
we
sorry, I have to.
engaged in this conversation, I already said the mental act of understanding has something internal to the substance as its object, such that the substance comes to understand its own nature, and then you just distinguish the manner in which the subject understands its own nature. The terminus of this act of intellection would be the Son. Yes or no? Yes or no?
What? The
The
terminus of
terminus of this act of intellection would be the Son. Yes or no?
the terminus of the act of the intellection would be the Son, in a certain respect, yeah.
Thank you. Good God. Okay. So I don't know why that took forever. So the terminus of the act of intellection is the Son. Now, is the Son his own terminus of act of intellection? Yes or no?
Is the Son the terminus of his own act of intellection?
Mhm.
Not in the way in which Aquinas cashes out, no.
Okay, then what is he then?
Is the Son the terminus of his own act of intellection? Are you asking me
Yeah, if their act
active?
of intellection is
Are
identical,
you
I ask
asking
you,
me?
is the Son his
Are you
own
asking me?
terminus of its act of
So
intellection?
if I'm interpreting you correctly, when you're saying is the Son the terminus of his own act of intellection, is the Son being indicated to be the act, right? Or the act of the
No, I
intellection?
didn't say that. I said the
I'm
No,
asking
I didn't
what you
invoke.
say.
One second.
I never said you said that. I'm asking the
No, I did
question. You know
not
what my question
invoke.
is?
One second.
When did I say you
I
invoke
didn't say
something?
the
I'm
act.
asking the question.
1 second.
Okay, when
I
did I
didn't
say
say
you
that the
did say
Son
that?
was, dude. I didn't say the Son was just going to be the act. I mean, he might have the same essence as the act of intellection, right? But no, that's not what I was saying. I know you don't believe in the Scotus view of phenomenology. That would be like Scotus. Now, what I did say is that the Son is going to be the terminus of the act of intellection, right? That is what I said. Now, just like for us, whenever you have an intelligible species, that's going to be the formal principle for the action of intellect that forms the concept by which the object is understood. Okay, that's your position. So please don't mention the Scotus position again. Now,
What do you mean
if
that's my
that's
position? Wait,
true,
what?
if
What
the
do you mean is
formal
that my
concept,
position?
like what we
Wait,
would
what?
call a formal concept,
Do you know what my
if that's
position
just going to
is?
be what the Son is, I'm asking you, is the
Wait, do you know
Son
what my
his
position
own
is?
terminus of the act of intellection?
Wait, my model of the Trinity isn't Thomistic, right? So the Thomistic position isn't mine. As well as the
It says
Scholastic
your
position. A lot
model
of people
of
do that.
phenomenology. Please track.
Look, there's a distinction between a Trinitarian model, right,
I said your
and a
model
model
of
regarding to the philosophy
phenomenology.
of the mind. Or my model regarding to what the
I'm sorry,
mind in
is
general.
this not the Thomistic position?
The Thomistic position regarding to the Trinity is
To
going to be distinct.
phenomenology.
Is going to be distinct because
To
the Thomistic, because
phenomenology.
you can be listening.
Dude,
Right, Aquinas's view, right, on the mind, where is it derived from? Aristotle. Is Aristotle a Trinitarian?
is
So
this your position on
you can have a
phenomenology?
view. Can you please shush for a second, bro?
Dude,
Right, my position,
why are we
right,
getting
on
into meta about
because you don't
Aristotle?
know what you're talking about. I'm telling
I
you, bro.
asked you if
Because
this
just
was your
because my
position on
position,
phenomenology.
my position on phenomenology doesn't entail my
Yes or
position
no?
on the Trinitarian
Yes or
theology.
no?
I already told you yes, but I'm telling you, my
Oh, thank
position
you.
on
Okay, he
phenomenology.
conceded.
Can you
Thank God.
please,
Okay. So
Jesus
for
Christ,
Aquinas, the
can
word
you,
is the product
Jesus,
of the
please give me
intellectual
strength
act.
right now.
Now I'm
Can you not
asking you,
interrupt me?
is the
Can you not
Son his
interrupt me?
own product of the
Can you
intellectual
not
act?
interrupt me, bro?
Dude,
Okay, cool. My position in phenomenology regarding to how
my
Aquinas
gosh.
views the mind
It's so cringe.
doesn't entail his position in Trinitarian theology.
It does,
No,
actually.
it doesn't. Because
Yes, it does.
Aristotle, right, Aquinas's view on mind derives from
I
Aristotle.
never said it's
Is
exact.
Aristotle
Well,
a
Aquinas'
Trinitarian?
view on mind is not the
Is
same as Aristotle. Fun fact.
did I say it's the same, or did I say it
Then
derives?
why are you talking about Aristotle? Hello?
Because there's going to be a commonality in which Aquinas
The
and Thomas
commonality is
shares
intelligible
regarding to.
species.
Let me learn. I'm telling you, right? The commonality which is shared between Aquinas and Aristotle is going to be the operations concerning the active intellect, the passive intellect.
I know
right?
Aquinas
And the
adds a
sensations.
step by
Wait,
claiming
hold on, let
that
me
the
learn because I'm
possible
teaching you
intellect
something, bro.
informed by the
Relax,
intelligible species
relax,
is
bro.
Augustine's intellectual
Relax,
memory.
bro. Relax, bro. I'm telling you, right? So me taking Aquinas' position on the mind doesn't mean that I'm
The
taking
rhetoric
Aquinas'
is
position on the
killing me,
Trinity.
dude.
Oh my goodness, bro.
Gosh.
It's because you're
Yo.
presupposing that I have
No,
a
you're just dodging.
Thomistic.
You're
How am I
dodging.
dodging if you're talking about a position that I don't
Okay,
even
you're
adhere to?
dodging.
How's
You're
that a dodge? You said it's my position. I'm
nothing
saying
that
it
you
isn't my
just
position. How is that a
said
dodge?
had to do with anything.
Yes, it does,
Cool.
because
I
you're
already
speaking
granted in the
about
beginning.
you're
Excuse me.
speaking
In the
about.
beginning of this
I'm telling you the
conversation,
relevance.
I said there was the
I'm telling
Aristotelian
you the relevance.
process of intellection that
No,
ends
you
with the
didn't.
intelligible species being impressed onto the possible intellect. But Aquinas, he adds a step by claiming that the possible intellect informed by the intelligible species is what Augustine calls intellectual memory, such that the possible intellect in itself, informed by the intelligible species, is now capable of having its own act. Hello?
Yeah, again,
I don't
you
know
did
why
not
you
say
mentioned
this.
Aristotle.
Again, you did not say. Again, you did not say this in the beginning one.
Yo,
You did not say.
somebody
You
get
did
this
not
recorded.
say. It's recorded. You asked me Aquinas. You asked me about Aquinas' position.
I said, do you hold to
Wait, let
Aquinas'
me
view
learn.
on
Let me learn.
phenomenology?
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Bro, you cannot track.
Because you are not tracking the whole time, is it? Right? That's interesting. Because I was able to still mind your position multiple times, and you wasn't able to still my mind. But anyways,
Yes,
like
I
I was
have.
saying, like I was,
Bro,
no, you didn't.
how about this? Let me ask you then
Like I
again.
was saying,
Are
like
you
I was
saying
saying,
that the
like
mental
I'm
act of
telling you,
understanding has something
Lord have
internal to the
mercy.
substance as its
Lord
own
have
object of
mercy.
intellection? Yes or no?
Lord have mercy. You know what? I can't be. Just give me a syllogism, bro. This is too pedantic.
Yes
you
or
have an
no?
argument?
Yes or no?
Just give me a syllogism. Bro.
Yes or no?
Just give me a syllogism.
Yes or no?
So you're not gonna give me a syllogism?
I don't need to give you a syllogism. What the heck?
Well, you need to give me a
Dialectic. What the
syllogism
hell?
because you're not being very consistent.
I don't
all the
need to
time.
give you a
And you've been
syllogism.
look, the reason why I'm
Yo,
saying
I don't need to give you a syllogism. You're running. You're literally running.
The reason why
You're
I'm
running
asking
from the
for
question.
okay, can you shut up for a second?
You're
I'm telling
running
you
from the
reason why I'm
question.
asking for it.
I asked you,
I've
is
been
the
here.
Son
Okay.
is the
Okay, go,
Son
go.
the terminus of his own active intellection?
Okay, go.
And you just refuse to answer this.
And it's so funny because I already answered it. So I'm not going to answer a question I already answered.
Wait, what was the answer? What was the answer? What was the answer?
What if you was listening, you would understand I
What
said
was the
yes
answer?
legit 10 minutes ago. So you're not
Oh,
even checking.
wow. So the Son is the terminus of his own active intellection. Is the Father the terminus of his own active intellection? Yes or no?
Can you please shush?
He's running. He knows if he says yes, then they're identical.
How am I running if I'm asking for an argument?
Okay, is the Father the terminus of his own active intellection? Yes or no?
So you're not going to give me an argument.
Is the Father the terminus of his own active intellection?
So you're not going to give me an argument. Yes or no? I'll answer
waiting.
your question, answer mine.
I'm waiting.
I already answer your question. Are you going to give me an argument?
If the Son is the terminus of its own active intellection, and
so
if the Father is the terminus of his own active intellection, and the terminus of the active intellection are identical, then the Father and Son are identical.
Repeat the syllogism again.
If the terminus of the Son, if the terminus of the Son's active intellection is the Son, and if the terminus of the Father's active intellection is the Father, then the Father and Son are identical. The terminus of the active intellection of the Son and the terminus is the Son, and the terminus of the active intellection of the Father is the Father. Therefore, they're identical.
So if the terminus is not the same,
which proposition do you reject and why?
So which premise states for the Father? Which premise?
Can you shush? I didn't want to do this to you. Which proposition do you reject?
You want me to not reject the syllogism? Like what the heck?
Okay, so which one do you reject? Okay. Which premise do you reject?
Oh my goodness! Like this guy is.
Okay, I'll give it
So
to you again.
which
If the
premise?
terminus of the active intellection, if the son's terminus of the active intellection is the son, and if the terminus of the father's active intellection is the father, then they are identical. The terminus of the terminus of the son's active intellection is the son, and the terminus of the father's active intellection is the father. Therefore, they're identical. What
Premise
do you
2 is
reject?
gonna be rejected. Premise 2 is rejected.
Okay,
The
why?
father is because the father is in the terminus of the act of the intellection. Because the terminus of the act of intellection is going to be passive aspiration, no passive generation, which is only designated.
So the
Oh,
father's not identical to the.
can you? Jesus Christ.
Yo,
Are you gonna keep interrupting me? Like I'm confused. Okay, cool. So I'm telling you why you interrupt me. Is there any reason
so
for
the
me to
father's
have a
not
conversation with you?
identical. I just want to be very clear. Just to
What's the argument for that?
clear.
What's
Just to
the
be
argument
clear,
for
the
that?
father's not identical to the content of his knowledge, right?
What's the argument for that? Now you have to give an argument for that.
No, I'm asking you a question. Just to be
No,
clear,
You
the
gave an
father is
inference. No,
not
you didn't
identical to the
ask me.
content
You
of his
didn't know.
knowledge.
You don't know what.
You're rejecting the
You don't
premise,
know
by
the
the way.
distinction between.
You're rejecting the
You
premise,
don't
by
know
the
a
way.
distinction. You don't know. Okay, and I'm telling you,
I
but you
do know what
inferred. You
distinctions are.
inferred.
Hello?
Wait, can you please shush?
Hello?
Right?
Why are you
You
talking about
inferred. You
distinctions
gave
now?
an inference.
Bro,
Oh my
his
goodness, can you
brain
please
is
shush?
malfunctioning.
Yo, Kiki, can you please mute this guy? He's been interrupting me the whole time. I don't interrupt him when he's talking, but he interrupts me. Can someone moderate this guy? Like, I'm confused.
That we're having a discussion.
You're
You rejected the
interrupting
premise.
me
I'm
when I'm
asking
talking.
why.
I don't interrupt you. Are you deaf? Or delayed?
Okay, go
Or you
ahead.
both?
You rejected the premise. Go ahead,
You
explain
made
to
an
us all
inference.
why.
You didn't, because okay. Premise 2 states
Hello?
that
Yes.
if the father.
Of course I made an inference.
Okay, oh my goodness, bro.
Yo, the rhetoric is trash.
Okay, so you didn't ask me a question. So you made an inference that the father isn't going to be identical to what is you say his content or knowledge? Is that what you said? Is that not the
I
inference
asked
you
you if
made?
the father was identical to the content of his intellection, and you said no. You said
didn't.
no?
You asked me that. You asked me that
The
earlier.
terminus of the active
But
intellection
the
is
premise,
the content.
the
Hello?
premise, your premise isn't a question.
Of
Right? It's
course
going to be
it's
a
not a question,
statement.
genius.
So you're not
It's a
asking me a
deductive rule of
question.
inference.
It's going to be a statement.
Yo.
What? A condition? Wait, are you?
Do you know
are
how
you silly?
material conditionals work?
Are you silly? The statement contains a conditional.
Yes.
Right?
Material
conditional
are conditioned
isn't
by the material of
posited.
the antecedent.
Y'all
whether
gotta
you
talk one at
affirm
a
it or
time.
reject it.
Moses, just
Can
let
you tell
him
this guy to
respond,
shut
and
the
then you
hell
can
up? Like,
respond after. You don't gotta
is this
cut
guy?
anyone, like be for real.
No,
You don't got
he's
cut.
being
But
very.
yeah,
he's
Moses,
being very.
let him respond, and then you
Yeah,
could
let him get up. Let him get up.
rebuttal
Let him get up.
after.
I'll go on mute.
I guess.
I'll go on mute.
Again,
Let him get up.
Again, your premise 2 stated. Let me just give you a revision of premise 2. So premise 2 was practically stating, was given a condition regarding if the father is going to be the terminus of the act of intellection, which I rejected because it's going to designate the son, since the terminus of the act of intellection is going to signify the passive generation. And passive generation is going to be relatively opposed to its correlative term, which is going to be active generation. And active generation is going to be what constitutes the father as such. And since there's going to be an opposition between active generation and passive generation, it cannot be the case that the father can be the terminus of the passive generation. That's what I said to you. But then you made an inference that the father is going to be not identical to his knowledge or some concept or whatnot. And I'm asking you to give an argument for that.
For why the father is identical to the content of his intellection?
No, dog.
If the act of intellection is complete, then its terminus is the content of what is known. The intellection is complete, therefore the terminus of the act of intellection is the content of what is known. Do you accept? Surely you don't deny that, do you?
I don't deny what. Repeat that again.
I said, if the act of intellection is complete, then its terminus is the content of what is known. The act of intellection is complete, therefore the terminus of the act of intellection is the content of what is known. You accept that?
Yes, of course I accept that.
GG's, buddy. The Father is what is known, right?
The Father is
Concession incoming.
the Father is what is known.
GG's.
But that doesn't mean.
By the way, that's a
That
concession.
doesn't mean that's not a contention because that's not in your argument. Are you silly?
Yo,
G1, just let him respond because I can't even hear him.
He did respond. What are you talking about?
I gave
mean,
you an
not
argument.
G1, Moses. Moses, let G1 respond. My bad.
Let him get up. Let him get up. Let him get up.
Look, I already told you about. There's a distinction between how the acts are being.
Notions.
Can you just stop interrupting me? Yeah, I already told you there's a distinction in the way in which Aquinas uses the intellectual acts of reference to God. Right, when he's talking about the God, right, knowing himself and the object being known, the object being known here is going to be substantial, signifying something substantial. Okay, cool. So you're just gonna I can't be honest, bro. This guy's gonna keep interrupting me. I just can't be honest. I can't be honest.
You already made a concession. Like, what are we doing?
How could I make a concession? You didn't give
I said if
argument.
the act. Oh wait. You want to concede again?
Sound
All right.
argument.
I'll run the argument again. If the act of intellection is complete, then its terminus is the content of what is known. The act of intellection is complete. Therefore, the terminus of the act of intellection.
Okay, I don't think he wanted you to run the syllogism again, but
you know what I'm saying?
You did kind of cut him off. Like, just let him respond because you keep laughing at him. Just let him talk.
You didn't give a sound.
It's funny.
You didn't give a sound argument to show that the Father is going to be the terminus of the act of intellection, right? Signifying, passive generation. You didn't give a sound argument, right? You keep giving a separate argument and you're embedding this conclusion within it, right? It's not contained in the conclusion. You have to give me an argument which contains the conclusion which you're trying to show, bro. Like, surely you know what an argument is. Mm-hmm. Okay, so can you give me an argument?
Yeah, if the terminus of intellection is the content of what is known, then the Father as what is known is the terminus of intellection. The terminus of intellection is the content of what is known. Therefore, the Father as known is the terminus of intellection.
Okay, cool. So repeat the premises one more time.
Don't run.
I'm asking you to repeat the premises. I'm asking you to repeat.
If the terminus of intellection is the content of what is known, then the Father as known is the terminus of intellection. Premise 1. Premise 2, the terminus of intellection is the content of what is known. Therefore, the Father as known is the terminus of intellection. Do you accept or no?
So if the terminus of the act of intellection is going to be what is
known,
act
like you don't know what a modus ponens is, by the way.
Oh my goodness, bro. If the terminus of the act of intellection
if the terminus of intellection is the content of what is known, then the Father as known is the terminus of intellection.
Moses, let him respond.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. Let him get up.
Yeah. Good rhetoric, by the way. So if the terminus of the act of intellection is going to be what is known, and the Father is the terminus of the act of intellection, and then the conclusion is going to be that the Father is going to be the terminus of the act of intellection.
Wrong.
Okay, so can you show this?
If the terminus of the intellection is the content of what is known, then the Father as known is the terminus of intellection. Premise 2, the terminus of intellection is the content of what is known. Conclusion, by modus ponens, therefore the Father as known is the terminus of intellection.
Okay, cool. Can you just put that on the screen?
Do you accept that or no?
Can you put it on the screen? I need to see it on the screen, bro.
If
put it on the screen.
P entails Q, P therefore Q, genius.
Bro, can you put it on the screen?
Yo.
You're specifying rule of inference doesn't specify the content, genius. So again, I'm asking you to put the content with the inference rule on the screen so I can look at it, genius.
Sure. How about this?
If P then Q, okay, well, no, that's an inference rule, right? This is what the heck. Okay, cool. So if the terminus of the intellection, can someone make it in full screen? Like, so can someone, I can shoot myself.
If the terminus of intellection is the content of what is known, then the Father as known is the terminus of intellection. P entailing Q. Premise 2, the terminus of intellection is the content of what is known. Conclusion by modus ponens. Therefore, the Father as known is the terminus of intellection. What do you reject?
Wait, so let me see.
Please don't run.
Oh my God. Let me see. Because can you put it sideways, please?
Dude, it's a modus ponens. Oh my God.
I'm saying put it sideways. Oh my goodness. So the terms of the intellection is the content of what is known. Then the Father as known is premise was rejected.
All right, so the Father isn't determinist of his own. So the Father's not identical to the content of his intellection.
That doesn't follow. You have to give an argument.
It does follow.
Because determinist
of intellection is the content of what is known.
What is known? What is
determinist
known?
Wait.
Oh my goodness.
The determinist of intellection.
I
heard it. Wait.
You're interrupting me again. Like I'm confused. Okay.
You already conceded to the other argument.
I already told you how could I concede if I'm saying premise one is
the
false?
other argument
is an unsound argument.
Hold on, one second.
Both of the arguments was unsound. I already told you.
Hold on. One second.
My goodness. Oh my goodness.
You already agreed to the other argument.
Bro. Why are you doing
already
this,
agreed to the other argument when I said if
you're doing
the act
some
of intellection is
rhetoric.
complete, then it's terminated.
You're doing some silly ass rhetoric, but please, can you chill out? Again, I already told you premise one is false. Right, and if you see
I have an argument for premise one.
So give the argument for that. Can you put
it's
it on the
the
screen,
same argument that you conceded to 5 minutes ago.
It on the screen. What did
if the act of intellection is complete, then its terminus is the content of what is known. The act of intellection is complete, therefore the terminus of the act of intellection is the content of what is known.
But that doesn't show that. That's not. Oh my God! This guy is so silly.
Yo, this dude can't.
How is the conclusion? The conclusion isn't being contained.
It is contained.
Premise one.
Oh my God.
Premise one, right, in that argument, which is unsound, isn't being contained in the conclusion
contained.
which you're trying to prove. No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
Where's the term Father being used in the conclusion? The term Father is not being used in the syllogism. What do you mean it's contained? The premises doesn't mention the Father. So how could it be the case that the syllogism is giving justification for premise one? You understand that when you have conclusion has to be contained in the premises, right? And within the premises, there's no mention of the term Father, right? Meaning that there's going to be no mention of it in the conclusion. And guess what? Premise one mentions the term Father, so you have it deductively
if the act of intellection is complete,
going to be justified.
Then its terminus.
Yeah, this guy doesn't know what
I said if the act, he's a coward. G1's a coward.
I'm a coward, but I just told you that your syllogism is not showing what you're trying to prove in premise one.
You already conceded.
Conclusion one, where is the term Father being?
I said if the act of intellection is complete, then its terminus is the content of what is known. The act of intellection is complete, therefore the terminus of the act of intellection is the content of what is known.
Yeah, and the content which is known is going to be the Son.
Do you accept that?
So
Do you accept that?
I accept that because the content, because the content what is known is going to be the Son. Oh my goodness,
that's a concession.
This guy is so slow. Right? I accept that because the content that which is known is going to be the Son, not the Father. And premise one is speaking that the terminus of the act of the intellection of what is known is the Father, you donut. So
no,
it's not
that
the same
doesn't
thing.
Follow. No.
Oh my! Here, is this guy
what
slow?
What I just made
Lola, is
was
this guy
a universality schema. Please,
is this
stop
guy
talking.
so
You
slow?
sound very stupid. You sound stupid.
Is this guy slow?
This was a universality schema.
Is this guy slow?
No, I'm not.
The
inference
argument,
holds no matter what you plug in as the content. Dude,
I think you're a donut, honestly speaking.
He's gonna run.
The argument that you're trying to look. The
inference
argument,
holds.
right, you're trying to justify.
Somebody else put G1 on mute because I kept getting
contained.
put on mute. I just want to clarify something really quickly.
Clarify the argument doesn't prove
the inference holds. Excuse me. The inference holds no matter what you plug in as the content of what is known. The conditional premise already guarantees. Excuse me. The conditional premise already guarantees. He's gonna run. The conditional premise already guarantees that whatever counts as content will be the terminus once the intellection is completed. You conceded. If the content, for example, is triangle, then the terminus is, guess what? The concept of triangle. Let me not do it.
Yeah, this
if the content is justice, then the terminus is the concept of justice.
Okay, and if the content is not the Father, then the terminus of that is not going to be the Father. Okay, beautiful. Meaning by premise one, Meaning premise
Bro,
one
it is the
is not
Father.
just of, no, it
The
isn't.
content
We
is going to
have
be
to prove
identical
that.
in God.
You have to, well, again, you have to prove, but the terminus of the act of the
Prove that
intellection
God
is the
is
Father.
absolutely
I'm
simple.
saying,
Yo.
can you shush for a second? I already told you,
Yo,
but
this is crazy.
I already told you the terminus of the act of intellection is going to be the Son, right? Not the Father. Premise one
Is the Father
saying,
identical to the content
the
of his
premise
intellect?
one is saying that it is going to be the Father. So your syllogism
G1 is
doesn't
rejecting
justify
that the
premise.
Father is
Okay,
identical
cool. Yeah,
to the
this guy's
content
slow.
of his knowledge.
This guy
That's
is so slow.
wild.
This guy is slow. This guy is slow.
Bro, you can bait.
This guy is slow. This guy is slow.
Okay, so he already, guys, so just so you guys
Is
can
there a
kind of
distinction
keep up with
between the
what's going
thing
on.
known and the
Excuse me.
knower?
So
Is
just
there
so
a
you guys
distinction
can keep
between?
up with what's going on.
Is there a distinction
G1, for
between the
whatever
thing?
reason, excuse me.
Okay,
G1,
let's go.
G1 begged me for a formalized argument. I gave it to him. I said,
And
if the act
it
of intellection is complete, then its terminus is the content of what is known. The act of intellection is complete. Therefore, the terminus of the act of intellection is the content of what is known. We have already walked through this multiple times that the nature is the object of intellection. And G1 is saying that the Father is not identical to the content of what is known, which means he's not identical to the nature. Yo.
that doesn't
Yo.
that does not
It does follow.
follow. Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
Let me ask you
That
this
is
again.
not.
Is the
No,
Father,
let me
it does follow.
respond. Oh my
Hello?
goodness. Yeah.
Yes, it
Can
does
you start
follow.
interrupt me? Can you start interrupting me? Thank you. Oh my goodness. Again, you gave an unsound argument. The argument which you placed on the screen was an unsound argument because premise one was false. You said that you have an argument to justify premise one, which would mean that premise one is going to be contained in the conclusion, not virtually, but explicitly. And when I mean explicit, I'm seeing with the terms, right, which is going to be used in premise one, is going to be present in the conclusion and in the premises, because wherever is in the conclusion is going to be contained in the premises. When you gave the argument saying that the terminus, or if the complete, not something, whatever, but the point is the terminus, right, of the act of intellection is going to be what is known, right? I agree, but that doesn't mean that what is
That's a
known is
concession.
going to be okay. So you're gonna interrupt me.
You're crying.
You're gonna
You're
interrupt me.
crying for
So you're
whatever
gonna interrupt me.
reason.
So you're gonna interrupt me. So you're gonna interrupt me.
Dude, yes.
Okay.
Yes, of course.
So you're gonna interrupt
The rhetoric
me.
is buns.
So you're going to interrupt me.
Of course.
Okay.
You're running.
So okay. So you want to interrupt me.
What?
So how am I running
Yes,
when
you're running.
I told you that the argument which you tried to prove was not proven, because the argument which you gave doesn't contain.
You accepted the argument multiple times.
Because it doesn't contain. Okay, this guy doesn't know what an argument is.
It
Right?
does.
When you're trying to prove, right, a premise, the premise is going to be contained, right, in the syllogism, such that the conclusion, right, is going to be resulted from the premises, right, which pertain to the terms which is used in the premise which you're trying to justify. You haven't justified it because guess what? It's not included in the conclusion. It's not hard. If you go to ChatGPT right now, or Claude Audio, Claude AI, or any type of AI system, or even logicians, they will tell you haven't justified premise one. You don't know what you're talking about. Do you want me to like invite someone who knows more than us on logic to tell you haven't justified it? Yeah, I'm done speaking to you because you don't know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about. What you just said was stupid, and it doesn't follow. Excuse me.
What's up, brother?
What you just
said. What's good?
What you just said doesn't follow. What are you talking about, my guy?
What's good? You want to hop on Warzone?
Anyways. So what you said doesn't. What you said doesn't follow.
Add my thinking when I do that.
He's just gonna run. He literally is a coward. What a coward!
Hey! Whoa! G1. Hey! G1.
He's gonna run.
Yeah, what's it called? Solo. Yeah, I'm gonna play some Warzone.
Hey,
you said my man. Yeah, what's good?
Hey, bro, you
So
play Warzone?
G1, you
You're
G1, you
interrupting
already conceded to the argument.
You're interrupting the host. What did you say, Symmetry?
You play Warzone?
Yeah, man. I play Warzone. You play
Graphics, I'm
Warzone?
gonna destroy you
Don't
too,
allow him
gang.
to
Like, what's
run.
up?
Listen,
No,
let me know.
focus.
I'll carry you guys on. Let me
Don't
add you.
allow him to run.
It
He's
sound
gonna
like we
You
got a
as
run.
Raw Tony,
squad.
bro. You as Raw Tony? Yeah, add me up. We'll play
He's
Warzone.
gonna
All right, for
run.
sure. I'm gonna
Don't
message you.
allow him to run. No.
I already responded, bro. I already gave a sufficient
Okay,
response.
so does
Anyways,
content need to be specified for you to accept the premise?
Wasn't
Yes or
an hour,
no?
Big Mac, please. Wait, which one do you want to play,
Yes
Tony?
or
Do you want
no?
to play You want to play
G1 is a
Rebirth? Or
coward.
you guys don't play
Hold on,
Resurgence?
put him on mute really quick, because now he's
Resurgence?
just yapping.
I do play.
Resurgence? Okay.
Put him on mute really quick, because now you're just
So I'm gonna
yapping.
carry on Resurgence.
You already conceded to the argument
No
multiple
one's
times.
talking to you, bro.
You already conceded to the argument.
No one's talking to you, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
because
like,
you're a coward.
Is it?
You asked me to formalize the argument. You conceded to the argument. And now you're talking about Warzone because you're a coward.
You're being a sophist.
No one's being a
bro.
sophist.
Do you know this is
I
so
ran
funny?
the argument.
You're
I
symmetry.
said if the act of intellection is
Post
complete,
this
then
whole
its terminus is the
discussion on your
content of what is
page.
known.
Post this whole
You
discussion.
believe that the Father is the nature. That's the content of what is known.
Symmetry, post this whole discussion on your page.
Please do.
After this
Please post this whole discussion. G1 is a
Send
coward.
me this discussion. Send me this
Please
discussion.
do. G1's a coward.
Send me this discussion, bro.
No, please do. Post it.
Yeah, send me this discussion.
Because he said the Father is not identical to the content of his knowledge, which would be the nature. He's stupid. He's literally said the Father's not identical to his own nature.
Crazy.
In the beginning of this conversation, I said, you believe that this mental act of understanding has something internal to the substance as its own object, such that the substance comes to understand its own nature. You already conceded to that. So the object of intellection is not going to be a formal concept, genius. It's going to be what's objective, the nature. And you saying that the Father is not identical to the content of his intellection, which would be the nature, means that the Father's not God, genius.
I'll send it to bro. Send me Activision. No, I'll send. I'll send you my Activision.
Please
let me get my
record this. Download this recording because G1 actually committed a heresy.
Compute tech. Wait, what books do you want me to send to you, bro?
But yeah,
And is that the conclusion of the conversation?
I guess the conclusion of the conversation is that G1. Yeah. Anyways, the conclusion of the conversation. Yeah. Anyways, the conclusion of the conversation is that G1. I made a universality schema where you can plug in anything to the content of what is known, and automatically that's going to be the terminus of intellection. Now, he believes that the nature is the object of God's intellect, right? So I don't know why he keeps saying that the object of the intellect is going to be specified by the persons. Persons are not distinct objective concepts. That's a heresy. That is literally heresy.
To get on your level. Yeah, I'll send you. It depends what kind of books you want.
They're not distinct objective concepts. So that's a heresy. So there would be the one objective concept, and the object of God's intellect would be the nature. And so by him saying that the Father is not identical to the object of his own intellection means that he's not identical to his nature, which is heresy, by the way. Congratulations, you're a heretic.
Anyways,
no response, by the way.
Why are you interrupting? I'm not. Why is this guy? Is this guy with K in the head or something, bro? Like, bro.
No response, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got Xbox.
When the whole discussion is posted, okay, whatever. But what do you say, Tony? Wait, what? You got console?
Yeah, I put Xbox, but we're on a Discord. Me, Larry, and Walter.
Yeah, bro, got a little fruity Xbox.
Even
don't hate on Xbox game.
No, Xbox is pretty good. I used to have Xbox as well, bro. Xbox One.
No, but we could run it later for sure. And Solo, I want my one, and then we can play some more zone. You feel me? Don't worry, it's snipers only, gang.
You know, Slim plays Warzone as well. Do you know? I feel like there should be a live where we all hop on Warzone like a
Nah,
private
facts.
match or something.
W run.
Like a private. Oh my god, bro, Moses, can you shut the hell up, bro? Like,
no, I'm saying Warzone sounds fun, but W run.
You like don't get attention at home, bro.
No, I'm saying like Warzone sounds fun.
I'm trying to have a dialogue with people.
No, I get it.
Okay, so if you get it, then shut up. Like,
I'm saying Warzone sound fun, but you know, W
run. Okay, so please don't interrupt. Have manners.
Just, like, you know, put in my opinion.
The parents don't teach you manners. Like, I'm confused.
I'm just
like now you're just being
Moses, do you play COD?
The conversation's done, bro. Like, what the heck?
You play Warzone?
Yeah, Slim. We're gonna test your Warzone skills, man.
Yeah, not real.
My thing is though, I need my ones with everybody.
And don't worry, we snipers only though, gang.
Bro, why can't we use regular? Stop playing.
Bro, Tony is a
you don't want to get Sponge. No, I saw Walter. I saw him versus you, dog. I saw him versus you.
Tony is a straight
Yo, G1, I ran this man walk down.
You ain't gonna talk about none of the other times I didn't smack
you beat me one time, bro. Stop playing.
When you sit there and stay in corners, you know, I feel it. Bro.
Don't tell me you're a camper, bro.
I ain't gonna hold you.
I'm not a camper. I'm not a camper.
Well, you know what? Okay, cool. So you'll be out there like.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into it, but Walt, he likes to, not challenge me. My aim is too good.
This man does not push worth
my
nothing.
aim is too good. Stop. Okay, we can run it again later.
Bro, so you wasn't ADS in the whole time around the corner.
You was sitting in the room the whole time.
You wasn't ADS in the whole time.
Hey, hold on. It was on alive. We had